Hi guys, Deanne here from Canada Abroad, and thanks so much for tuning in. Today I'm just going to be going over two of the most common mistakes that I am seeing on Express Entry profiles. So when I assist people, I review Express Entry profiles, or I might be reviewing their actual application for permanent residency after receiving an invitation to apply. And there's a few things that I have seen time and time again, and they're very common mistakes that people are making, but they're big mistakes at the end of the day. So the two things that I am going to be going over today are things that either are giving people extra points that they don't actually have, which in turn can result in them having to turn down an invitation to apply or getting their application refused because they didn't have as many points as they thought they did. Or in some cases, people are not getting enough points. So they've entered information incorrectly and it's costing them, 15 or 30 extra points, which at the end of the day could have given them an invitation to apply. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go into a mock profile. I'm going to show you where these two mistakes are constantly being made so that you can go in and you can check your own profile and make sure that you're not making these very common mistakes. And if you have any other trouble with your application or your profile, you can always book a review at the link above. And we go through your full profile to see if everything is entered correctly or if anything needs to be updated or changed. Okay, so let's log into the portal. So a lot of people, when they're filling out their profile, I guess, quickly skimming it, and they think it's asking, was your program in English or French? No. What they're asking here is for the full duration of your study, say, you had a 3-year program. Well, was more than half of that 3 years made up of courses that were ESL or FSL courses? So a lot of people are saying yes here. And if it's not the case, so you didn't do ESL or FSL courses, then by answering yes to this question, you're automatically losing all of your Canadian education points. So if you did do, ESL and FSL courses, then this would be applicable to you. But if you just came and you did, a 1-year postgraduate certificate or a diploma or a bachelor's degree, and you didn't have to do language courses, then you would be answering no here. And then what you should see in your full score breakdown is for Canadian education, you should be getting 15 or 30 points. If it's at 0 and you do have a Canadian qualification that meets all of the other criteria, then you know that it's been entered incorrectly. So this is the first one that we are seeing. And now we're going to go through the second one. Okay, so for the second one, it's in the work history section. And once you're in this section, it's under the Canadian Certificate of Qualification. So it's asking, do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province or territory? A lot of people are making mistakes with this one. They think that it's referring to Canadian education again, or if you're in a licensed profession, such as a doctor, that it means, are you qualified to practice in Canada and that province? But if you click here on the question mark, it does explain that this is actually for skilled trades in Canada. So it's a certificate of qualification that lets you work in a skilled trade in Canada. So if you're answering yes to this question, then it means that you have a Canadian trade certificate. So unless you have a Canadian trade certificate, even if you're qualified to practice a different profession in Canada, it doesn't matter. This question is just for trades. So we do see it a lot of the time that people are answering yes here incorrectly, and they're getting 50 extra points on their Express Entry profile. And unfortunately, once they realize this mistake, either it's because their application's been refused,
or we've pointed it out to them and they end up losing 50 points that they thought that they had. So you're going to want to go in and just double check that you haven't claimed any additional points for this. And then if you are a tradesperson, that you've answered this correctly so that you are getting those 50 extra points.
So hopefully those two tips can help you in some way. I know they were geared more for people who are applying under the Canadian Experience class, but hopefully you get some use out of it. So thank you guys as always for tuning in. And so don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest Canadian immigration news and updates.